always had that something in you where you wanted to strive for better. So describe for me, what has your journey been like in life?
The journey it's been very hard because, I was on public assistance, so it was like, at first it was a boundary there. Anybody knows about public assistance, they don't want you to go so far, or they're gonna cut it off.
When you describe yourself now, tell me, who's Freddie Stevenson, the man that you are now?
A few years ago, I remember in college, they would always have speakers come in and ask us who we are. I wouldn't have been able to answer the question. It probably would have had something to do with football. I'm a fullback for Florida State. I want to play in the NFL. But now it's just simple. I'm Freddie Stevenson, man of purpose.
This is a passion of mine. The whole premise behind the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast is to spotlight the fact that it is now time for you to get your dope comeback story.
Hey, say Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Say Jazzie Conversations with Jazz. Jazzie Conversations with Jazz.
Every Monday, I call people into a studio and we dig into their comeback stories, because I know that we see people in their glory and we see people when they're on top, when they can have that silver lining to them, but we all go through some things, right? We all go through some things, and I think once we're real with people and we let people know the trials and tribulations that we've gone through, it only makes us human and it connects one of us.
So I just want to know, what would be your advice to someone who is looking to start their own podcast?
First and foremost, let me back up. Find your voice. What are you going to talk about? Is it something that people want to listen to? How long will your podcast be? What's going to be the consistency of your podcast? Are you going to do it like weekly, daily? Are you going to do it monthly? So once you find that, because that's going to indicate if somebody wants to listen to your podcast or not. I do know how I'm doing it. I'm doing it with God. I'm doing it because this is a passion of mine. And when you are passionate about something, you're not going to stop. So it really it comes down to how bad do you want it.
It definitely comes down to how bad do you want it. And I know that on this fine Monday, you want it bad enough, right? I believe that you can come back from anything with God, the right resources, using those resources effectively and doing the necessary work for over 4 years and beyond, because it was a little bit before that, actually was a lot before that, I started to celebrate the power of the comeback. The comeback is so essential in all of our lives because we are always going to face challenges where we're not going to always be at the top, but there are going to be some times where we're going to be in our valley season, but there is always a formula with God first, using those resources effectively, the right resources effectively, and doing the necessary work that will get us back to our mountaintop where it will feel like we are at our optimum. And that is what life is about. And so I know that you believe in the power of the comeback because you are a part of my Jazzie crew and you are here on this fine Monday. So first and foremost, I need for you to make sure that you hit that like button, that subscribe button. If you are looking at me on my YouTube channel, I need you to follow. I need you to engage. I need you to like, and I need for you to share. If you are watching live from Facebook or YouTube, or even if you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, I need you to tag someone right now. I need for you to share it because this is going to be such a great episode. I have some fine gentlemen who are going to come and talk about a great program, actually 2 programs. They are no stranger to the show. They are friends of the show. And you can be friends of the show as well by doing those things that I said at the top of the hour. I want to make sure that you are not only my Jazzie crew here listening to the podcast the way that you listen to it, but I want you to come and meet me in person. Do you know every year I do a live podcast anniversary show where we bring guests in and you are a part of my studio audience. And we're going to make things bigger and better this year. This is the 4-year podcast anniversary live show, and it will take place on Saturday, November 8th. So mark your calendar. Tickets will be going on sale soon. The location will be given to you guys very soon as well, because over here, we believe in the power of the comeback. Let it be known that it was originated right here on this platform. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce, I have not one, not two, but three guests that I am going to share with you. And they're going to share with you their mission, their vision for two initiatives right here in Polk County, and really want to make it across the country. So let me just talk to you about Team Dad first. Team Dad is a fatherhood program that's focused on equipping men with the skills and resources needed to be involved and engaged as fathers. It stands for teaching, empowering, advocating, and mentoring. The program helps fathers build strong, healthy relationships with their children and provides education, training, and support. Now, many new fathers, they struggle to find out what their role will be, whether it is for their wife or their partner who has had a baby or a child that has entered their life. So the innovative fatherhood initiatives called Team Dad and Dad Mode, which is mentoring our dads every day, provides that instruction, the coaching, and the assistance to empower men in becoming reasonable, involved, responsible, and empower them to be fathers that their children require. I'm going to give you some important facts because Team Dad is a one-on-one program. Dad Mode offers group classes, right? And also one-on-one sessions as well, not only in English, but also in Spanish. So here's some statistics for you. When a child has an involved father, not just a mother, but this is specifically for dads. When a child has an involved father, the kids are 130% more likely to hold leadership positions just by dad being active. When a child has an involved and active dad, they are 55% more likely to go to college. When an involved parent, a father, is in a child's life, they are 43% more likely to earn A's in school. They are 75% less likely to have a teenage birth. They are 80% less likely to spend time in jail. They are 46% less likely to use drugs, and they are 50% less likely to experience depression. It is utterly important that dads are active in their child's life. And so without further ado, I am going to introduce you to the gentlemen who are ushering in a new wave of initiatives to stand right by you fellas. And so we are still celebrating Father's Day here on the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. I love great fathers. Introducing the first great father on this platform is Mr. Raymond Clay. How you doing, Raymond?
I'm doing fine. How you doing,
I'm
Jazz?
doing amazing. Introducing dad number 2, who is a definite active dad in his child's life. Hi, Austin Butler. How are you?
How you doing, Jazz?
I am doing amazing. And then last but not least, who's going to unmute? Hey, hi, Isaiah. How are you, Isaiah Blue?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I am doing phenomenally well. I'm happy. I'm happy because I have you guys on today. You guys got such a welcome the first time you guys were on. Then when I did the replay of the show, we got an incredible outpouring. I had a lot of dads that chimed in because it's almost like they couldn't believe that I was paying homage to fathers. And I still find that to be so weird because, I believe in a good father, and there are a tremendous amount of great fathers out there in this country. And so I love what you guys stand for. I love the initiatives that you guys are pushing in society, definitely here in Polk County, to get the ball rolling so to be global. I want to say, I put this on the screen because, hi, Sylvia, thank you so much for watching this live broadcast tonight. And so this could be you as well. Once I see that you have a question, once I see that you are making remarks that I think the guys would want to see, we're going to put you live here on air. So thank you, Sylvia. Thank you for being a part of my Jazzie crew. So, fellas, first and foremost, how was your Father's Day? That's important.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was wonderful to interact with my beautiful three girls that I have, and also even my brothers and stuff of that nature. It turned out well. Turned out well.
Good. So what did you do? What did you do?
So what I did was one of my girls actually cooked for me. So that's all. I always love that. Always love that. I just went over there, interacted with them. They had a chance to come over and interact with me. So it went well. It went well.
Yeah.
It went well.
Good. Austin, what about you? I always see you out and about with your kids, and I just love that. How was your Father's Day, and what did you do?
It was honestly, it's Father's Day. I don't go in with any expectations. And like I got this hat. It's got my kids' names on it.
I
I
love
haven't
that.
taken it off since I gotten it.
You in the shower and all, just with the hat on. Like,
Everything.
ooh, my
So I
kids
have a
love
hat
me.
that goes over it. So I got to put it backwards so I can clean my forehead.
Yeah.
It was really great. We did some street tacos, and it was one of the best Father's Day ever. Just
That's good.
grateful to be able to have my kids for it.
That's great. That's great. Isaiah, what about you? How was your Father's Day?
It was my most amazing Father's Day yet. The wife made steak and lobster for dinner, so that was nice. The family got together, had a movie night, and they did a gift for each sense. So one for smell, one for taste, one for touch. So it was a nice experience that was different. I didn't expect it.
So you got to tell me. Okay, so we are about to be nosy right now. So okay, tell me each gift in the area of the five senses.
So I got a gift card to go out to dinner, a nice romantic dinner somewhere. That was for taste. I got a gift card for a massage for feel. She kind of played loose with some of them, but she gave me this pendant, which actually has my mom's ashes in it.
Oh,
So that was really big to me. And sight, touch, smell, cologne, of course, some new cologne. So those are the main ones.
good.
This meant the most, but
So I know it's not about no, it's not necessarily about the gifts that count or anything, but I'm a boy mom, and so I'm gonna flip it. So for Mother's Day, it was one particular Mother's Day because sometimes my friends think I'm crazy because they're like, "You're always with your kids, so why don't you spend Mother's Day like relaxing by yourself?" Da 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 da. And I'm like, "Huh? Like, what are you talking about?" But I will tell you, like 2 years ago, I just wanted to be by myself, and so I didn't even do anything with my family. Like I just wanted some me time, and then I was like, okay, that's what I needed in my life at that time. But then I'm like, no, I want to be with my boys. I want to be with my kids. So I was trying to teach them how to be thoughtful men. And I was just like, okay, when you're getting a gift for someone, it's not about the amount of money that you spend and all of this good stuff. It's like if it just comes from your heart and you really, 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 just put thought behind the gift, that's what's gonna really make it hit, better. And so so they kept tabs on their stuff this year. They kept tabs on their stuff this year. But when I tell you, it's just listening to the story because I'm inquisitive and I always want to be like, okay, well, what made you choose this gift? And then so why did you give me this? And then one of them made me some flowers. I love me some flowers. So it's just like they were just so thoughtful. But it was cool to be with them. And so what do fathers? I know we're all individuals, mothers and fathers, but like what's your ideal way to spend your Father's Day? Like if they asked you, okay, dad, what do you want us to do? Like what would you say? Like what's your ideal way to be celebrated for Father's Day?
On the beach.
And that's
Lay
why that's why I'm
back.
here by myself.
Lay back all day long. That ain't even on Father's Day. Just hit me with any day. I mean, on the beach,
Yes,
just be all day. I'm telling
that's me
you.
all day. Austin, what about you?
I say sleeping in. Just I mean, it's a blessing to be able to have your kid wake you up in the morning.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
But if you're a parent, you know what I'm saying. But I, I like to sleep in just a day with no obligations.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we ain't got to do nothing. We ain't got to eat nothing. We ain't got to do nothing at all. Just as long as I'm not obligated to be here in that time, and then we could just go with the flow.
Yeah.
That's my perfect day any day. But most importantly, Father's Day.
Okay. And then what about you, Isaiah?
I think for me, it kind of combines what Austin and Ray said.
Yeah.
Something with like no obligations, but also a family activity that I enjoy would be nice. So
Mm.
That
something
you
that
enjoy.
follows one of my hobbies or something I was interested in doing. It would be nice to do that as a family.
Okay. That's very insightful. That's very insightful. Now, I'm gonna just ask, um, I love the initiatives that you guys have. And both of the initiatives that you have, it is a support in order to teach fathers how to be better fathers, to offer them support, to let them know that they have a tribe that's following along with them, whether it's one-on-one sessions or whether it's group sessions. And so I just want to ask you, before we deep dive into what it is to be a dad, but just what is it like to be just a man, a responsible man? Like what does that mean to you? Like when you just really think about what you're asked to do as a man, what does that look like? What does that picture look like?
I would say this. You said the word. You said it. Responsible.
Mhm.
That's the difference between being a boy and a man.
Yeah.
A boy is only me. But a man is more responsible for people around him. He's more responsible for his family. He's
Yeah.
more responsible for his kids. So that word responsibility alone gives you the distinction, the difference between what a boy and a man is just on that word alone, and tell you how they move, just on them being responsible. Because that carries a lot when you say responsibility. That's a heavy weight when you are responsible for the people around you. So that's what I would say.
Okay.
As that.
Yeah. Austin, what are your thoughts?
Mm. They say heavy is the what's that? Heavy is the weight that the shoulders bear or something. I messed it
Mhm.
up. In my head, it sounded really cool, but
He said it in his head.
yeah. So I think I mean I don't know what it's like to be anything else but a man,
Yeah.
but I could say that it's not what society tells you it is. It's not showing off. It's not the big gold bracelet. It's not the big fancy car.
Yeah.
It's showing up for your family. It's like what Ray said, kind of going with the responsibility. It's upholding the vision of your family. It's guiding them and holding them at that direction, even when times are hard.
I love that. And then Isaiah, what are your thoughts?
I think you have to honor the people that depend on you. So initially, it's definitely your family, everybody within your household, but
Mhm.
eventually that also extends out to the community. It could be at your job, but it starts with your family and it extends out to the community. But you have to honor everyone that depends on you because a lot of times as a man, it's a lot of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just in me raising boys, I have a son that's about to go off to college and it is like driving me insane. Like we have been going out for driving lessons and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're not two anymore. Like you're in it." And I look at our conversations because sometimes I feel like I'm weighing him down with all of these things and I'm like, okay, all right, this summer we got to buckle down. We're going on this college tour. We're going on this college tour. And then, all right, this time next year, you're going to be looking for, you're going to be getting ready to go live in your dorm at your college or whatever you decide, because he's still kind of undecided right now. But I'm just trying to guide him, and I can just see it. And it just makes me want to just bawl and cry. And I'm just like, Jesus, he's still like, he's a boy. Like, and it's like I'm pushing him out of the nest, but I'm like, this is still a boy. And it's like, on one hand, I'm telling him this, but it's like on the other hand, I'm like, I want to keep you at a boy as long as I can, because you are about to be thrust in a world where, like Austin was saying, heavy is the shoulders that has to carry that crown, of manhood is heavy. And I'm trying to tell him that. And so I think it is a remarkable thing that you guys are doing in terms of offering support for these men. And so I want you guys to just go ahead and just tell us all about Team Dad. Tell us all about Dad Mode, and why did you give these two initiatives your yes?
You want to tell them, Austin?
I certainly can.
Okay.
I mean, the yeses far outweigh the no's. I think we can all agree that when fathers are engaged in their families, that the communities succeed in terms of their longevity and their success.
Yeah.
I chose this program because I was a part of the program. So I actually went through the program. Ray was my mentor when I went through the program, and I went through some really hard trials in terms of co-parenting and in navigating fatherhood.
To tell, sir.
Legally, I can't say too much. No,
Okay.
no. So my daughter was not with me for 4 months. I did not know where she was. I did not know with who she was. And if I had not had the tools that I had learned in this program about putting my mental health first, making sure that if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't take care of my family.
Yeah.
And then, faith plays into it, as well. But I think if I had not been given the tools from this program, that I would not succeed. And then, and with Dad Mode, I go on all day about all of our initiatives. I really can.
Yeah.
I'm really long-winded, and it's terrible. But I'm just passionate about it.
Yeah.
Dad Mode is really awesome because it gets dads together. Ray has this thing he says all the time, where when we're young, we have this huge group of friends. As we get older, it gets smaller and gets smaller and gets smaller. But we as men were not made to be in isolation. We are communal beings, and iron sharpens iron, and we need that in our community, and we need to have that tribe to lay back on. And I feel that just with those two initiatives are two great things that any father, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a difficult co-parenting situation.
Yeah.
You don't need to be on public health, public aid. You don't need to be in DCF. You don't need to be doing foster care. This is for anybody and everybody that wants to be successful long term. Because a father full of awareness is a successful father. Successful fathers lead to successful communities.
I agree. Austin, before we move on to Isaiah, how did you find out about Team Dad?
So my mom heard about it. And she told me one day, she was like, hey, there's this program. Maybe you want to check it out. And I gave Ray a call, and then we met up within maybe, a week? I think he called me that night, honestly. Like, he was like, boom, 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 and we got it going.
Yeah, I was hungry for some clients.
And honestly, that one phone call and that one conversation, I feel like sparked a friendship, that because Ray and I finished like 12 weeks afterwards, but we still met up. Was it every Tuesday or every Wednesday for like a year?
We sure did. We did. We really did.
I love it.
That 12 session just kept going. It never stopped.
So when the job opportunity arose, I feel like it just felt natural for me to put in for it, and it's done nothing but bless the lives of my family and those around me.
Good. I love it. Isaiah, what about you? This is my first time being able to meet you.
Yes.
So I want to say welcome aboard, but you're probably like, I was already there, but welcome aboard.
So for me, I don't know if you can hear the kids screaming in the background.
Hey, that's a part of being a dad. We wanted. Give us some sound effects so we know it's real.
For me, I was actually in education before
Okay.
I switched over to being a fatherhood coach. So being in education, I always felt like some type of mentor. So I was a teacher and I was a track and field coach for high school. And I saw that a lot of the kids lacked the fathers in their life. And then even the kids that had fathers, they weren't necessarily present.
Yeah.
And that made me start thinking about even my own situation growing up. My dad wasn't too active in my life. And one of the big things for me, my wife would always tell me, like, oh, maybe you should reach out to him. You should hear him out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And my mom passed away 2 years ago.
With that.
And despite the fact that me and my dad aren't close, he wasn't always there when I grew up. The first person I called was him. And that was the first time I was able to let everything out. I cried. We talked. And it's like, that's the importance of a father. And it makes you realize that the father's not always there because sometimes they lack the tools, they lack the support. And because they don't have the tools or the support, it's difficult for them to be emotionally or physically present for their kids. So to have a program that focuses on giving them those tools, giving them that support, giving them that sense of community so they can stay committed to what's important for the future, that's something I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
So my wife actually worked for Healthy Start, and she's like, they're looking for a fatherhood coach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And just like Austin, I had met Ray before, and I'm like, oh yeah, Ray's cool. Let me look into it. Let me see what that's actually about. And it spoke to me because of what I've been through and because what I was experiencing within the community. So it was something I definitely needed to be a part of, so I could share my own journey and help other people with finding those tools and those resources that they need to just be better fathers and men overall.
Yeah, I love that. When I was listening to you, Isaiah, just you being able to come into your own with that realization that some men are not great fathers or maybe even active fathers because they don't have the toolkit for that to even happen. And so I I want to put a pin in that because how do we change that? Of the resources because with organizations that you work with now, but how do you get the message out to fathers who are white collar dads who put work over their kids, being active in their kids' life, or just a typical male who maybe his first time being a father, but he wants to be an active father, but he didn't see an active father. How do we change this? How do we change this discourse? And how do we allow forgiveness to come in? Because Isaiah, I know that you probably had to do a lot of forgiving, a lot of empathetic things. Like you probably had to put yourself in your father's shoes. How does that even begin to work? Like, how does it work? Where do we start?
I think we have to start with our own identity and understanding why we're making the decisions that we're making. It could be either systemic issues like incarceration or trauma from the past, but it could also be people modeling their behavior off of what they've seen.
Yeah.
So I think the three big things is self-identity for fathers and men to have an identity for themselves. It's changing the culture of what it means to be a father as well as be a man. And it's also, in terms of having a program, being visible in all communities. So
Yeah.
those would be my three things that I think we would need to focus on.
Gotcha. Austin or Raymond, do you want to chime in on that?
You hit the nail on the head right there, man. There's some depth there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I can I just say that my as a female, because can I tell you how I would like some of these conversations to go? I'm just gonna start with staying on topic first. As a female who was a diehard, is still, although my father is deceased, even though, so with me growing up to be a girl's dad, like I loved my father because he showed up in the ways that he knew how. Like there was never a doubt in my mind that he was a provider. There was never a doubt in my mind that he loved us. There was never any doubt in my mind that he was a protector, even though he stayed away from us because he worked so much. Like he worked hard. But I remember fishing trips that he would take me on whenever he had the time to do it. I remember him helping me with my homework when he was dirt tired. I remember him scraping up, literally like scraping up change, pennies for me to go to different um journalist conferences, etc. It is just embedded in my brain, the long Bill Cosby conversations that he talked to me to death with. Like he put in those, he implanted memories, core memories of mine that ensured my father is active and he loves me. Now, I still get off on a tangent when I'm like, you know what? He's never come to any of my basketball games. Or, you know what? I don't remember him being at any of my awards events or anything like that. But then it's like aside from all of that, I will still characterize him as, I know that my father was an active father. He did the best that he could. I know he would give me the shirt off of his back, right? So I carry that lens with the father. And I've always, because I have a lot of guy friends, and I had a lot of guy friends growing up where I would always, and if they started having kids, I would be like, yo, listen, you have to step in and you gotta be there for your kid, because I couldn't even imagine being a teen mom or even a young mom. And I'm like, listen, this is what she needs. Like, just show up in any way that you can. Like, just be there for your kid. And so I've just grown up seeing all types of fathers in my family. I've grown up seeing all types of fathers that my friends have become. And then having to deal with a co parenting situation that I never wanted to turn into a co parenting situation. Like, that's just not, that was not my ideal of anything. And that has been the most difficult thing to do in my life, right? And so the way that I am trying to bring awareness to me, to people, because it's important to me, is inviting people like you on my show, by inviting dedicating an entire month just to spotlight dads. And so, Raymond, how do we get the word out? Because I've been seeing y'all in some places, and I'm liking it. I'm like, there's Team Dad. Oh, there's Dad Mode. Okay, I'm seeing you guys. How are we getting? How are you guys getting the message out? How are people finding out about you? Because I know you have some tremendous win. So I did describe my little part, what I think I'm doing in the world, in this society, to bring it, to the forefront. But what are we doing, Raymond?
So what we're doing, we're here. We're on this podcast. This is one way. And thank you for allowing us to be
Yeah,
on here to be able to give more
absolutely.
insight on what our Fatherhood Initiative actually has and what we do for the fathers as well. So this is one way. Another way is just word of mouth. We also, like I can say, we go to jails. We go to if there's referrals from DCF, we do DJJ. We
Heartland.
do say yeah Heartland.
Heartland for children.
Yeah, Heartland for Children.
Okay.
Uh, oh my gosh, there we have a bunch of community partners that are referring people to us as well, and also we go out as well too to like events, tabling events. That's one way too, and just one person at a time.
Yeah.
Just like the what was it? It was Saturday. I was inside. I went to Crunch. I was in there
Mhm.
trying to get my workout back on. You
I
know
was
what I
gonna
mean?
say, come on, work out.
I'm trying to get my workout back on. Trying to get my workout back on.
Yeah.
But so I was in there, and that was his dad. His girlfriend was on the treadmill, and he was right there doing like little squat machines, you know what I mean? And then I seen her come walk off of the treadmill and come beside me and start talking. So I
Yeah.
was like, I went over there and started talking to him. It was just talking to him, just engaging the conversation. So we try to reach in every different way possible to be able to let the dads know that, hey, we're here. This program is for you.
Yeah.
This program is to help enrich you and enrich how you live life, and even how you interact with your kids, and even also how you interact with the mother of your child as well too.
Yeah.
That's important. That's very important.
Yes.
Uh, so that's how we do it. I mean, and this is one of the best ways because all three of us get to get a bill here on one time and talk. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that is even awesome. So yeah, that's what I would say so far for what
So
we're
I
doing.
had a lot of people that asked me this question, and I know the last time you guys were on, someone asked me how could they help with the initiative in terms of donating. Someone asked me um, what fathers can get involved. Is there a stipulation? Is there a cap? Is there a requirement? Like how do dads get involved? So go one by one with team dad, and then with dad mode. Tell me what type of father qualifies for this program, and if they wanted to take that first step, what do they do?
Ooh, I can tell you this one. If
Yeah.
you're a dad, we want you. If you're a dad, reach out to us. Look, in literally what it's going to break down to is, are you doing one-on-ones or are you in a group?
Okay.
And uh, with Team Dad, if your child is 0 to 2, you qualify for Team Dad.
Okay.
You're set. You're good to go. If you're a father with a child 3 to 18, shoot. If you are a father at all, come to us. And look, if you're one of those dads that would rather be in a group, that's okay. Come on. We look, the more the merrier. We got food. You like pizza? We got pizza. Look, you like basketball? Come and see us at the Dream Center at Lakeland every
Okay.
Monday night from 6 to 8. We are there. We have Gatorade. We look. We'll chop it up. If it's in the community, we want to be there, and it's any dad, anybody. Just you
Any
can hit us
dad,
up.
anybody.
Any
Any
dad,
dad,
anybody,
anybody.
come to us. You
So
know,
every Monday night, you said every Monday night?
look, every Monday night at the Dream Center. You
Uh-huh.
know the Dream Center?
I do. I like the school that I currently work in started out in the Dream Center while our
Yeah.
school was being renovated. So
I love Dream Center. Nick over at the Dream Center is that man.
yes.
So we are there every Monday night and then every other Tuesday for their food bank.
Okay.
So that's another good resource. So if you guys are listening and you know anybody, they give you a lot of food. On a slow night,
Yeah.
they have 200 people there. And then we
Wow.
also have incentives for going to these courses. So
Mhm.
if you're a father and you come to our course at the Dream Center, we'll be giving you a voucher so you can get more food from the food bank.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you
That's
got to
awesome.
stay. You just can't come in and say, hey, you got
Yeah.
to sit down and talk to me for like 30 minutes.
Mhm.
And I know it's torture, but it's worth it.
It's
So
not. You are showing your personality where it is not torture. I don't think guys would think it's torture at all. Do you
no,
think there's a certain level of maturity that comes with reaching out to a program like yours?
there can be. There
Mhm.
can be. Because we have dads that are, I'm going to say, voluntold
Yeah. Yeah.
if you want your kids, you're doing this program. And believe it or not, some of the people that are voluntold are the ones that actually finish it, are the
Yeah.
ones that actually go all the way.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time about I have a father of mine who is completely blind. He is 8 weeks clean off crack. He
Oh,
said he's 56 years old. He became a man 8 weeks ago when he found out that he had a son.
wow.
Since then, this man has stopped crack, quit smoking cigarettes, quit drinking sodas. He has gone to Daytona School of the Blind to learn Braille so that he could provide and have a safe household for his son.
That is awesome. That's
The,
amazing.
yeah,
That's amazing. So Isaiah, if a dad is watching this and they, let's just say they can't make it to the Dream Center on a particular Monday, but they want to contact you guys, like how would they do it? Is it a way to do it online?
Yes.
Not to take the courses online, but just to make contact with you guys. Like, what
You
would be
can
that
take the
first?
course online.
Oh, you can. Okay, let's find out.
Mhm.
So Isaiah, what do they have to do?
So if you go to the Healthy Start website, there'll
Yeah.
be a tab that says Team Dad Mode, and you could go through there. There's a form that you could fill out, and it'll be submitted and sent to us, and then we'll reach out shortly after that.
Okay. Awesome. So just completing the form. No dad is too old to join. You're helping first time dads definitely, and they get the opportunity to do the one-on-one sessions, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so talk to me about first and foremost, I want your definition, and then we're going to move into the courses that you guys offer. So talk to me about your definition when we talk about being an active father. Talk to me about what that truly looks like to you, because Isaiah, I know that you are married, and Isaiah, I hope you're not putting on the brakes and saying go to your mama, let her take care of that. let her take care of that. Like, what does that look like to you? We'll start with whomever wants to chime in first. Like, just a bona fide active dad, what does that look like?
So for me, I think it's not I think, but I know is the biggest thing is being engaged.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people say being present, and it's like being present isn't simply just being there and being around. You have to
Yeah.
actually be engaged in what's happening.
Mhm.
So I have a 14-month-old and I have a 5-year-old. And my 5-year-old will come to me every night, Daddy, I want a story. And I can't just say, oh, I'm too tired. I'll go ask your mom. There's research that shows that kids sleep better when dad puts them to bed. So it's like when I lay my 14-month-old down,
Say
when I
that one
lay,
more time. Well, they're too old for this now. Dang it, I can't even use that. Dang.
so it's like anytime I put them to bed, they stay
Yeah.
in bed. But when mom
Yeah.
does it, they get up. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So it makes a difference. When I pick my daughter up from dance, she's so excited. She's smiling. She's laughing. Oh, I'm so happy to see you. But
Yeah.
it's become just a norm to see mom. But dads need to be engaged. It's not just being there and being present. It's not just providing. That's a part of it, but you have to
Yeah.
actually be engaged and build those memories and contribute to raising the child and alleviating pressure off of the other parent.
Contributing, alleviating. I love all of these ings that you are saying. So thank you for that. I love that. Austin, what about for you?
I actually have a tattoo about this because
Okay.
I've always been there with my kids, but I've not always been present.
Gotcha.
So I have a tattoo. I don't know if you could. It'll be hard to show it, but it says Kairos.
Okay.
And in Christianity, it's a way of being present in prayer.
Gotcha.
To the Greek gods, there was Chronos and Kairos. Chronos was time passing, and Kairos was time present.
Gotcha.
And I spent so much time thinking about everything outside of the world when I was with my kids. I wasn't able to be there with them.
Yeah.
Eventually, it led me to have a stroke at 30 years old.
Wow.
And since that day, I've learned that being present is what is right here in front of me. If I can't handle it right now, it's not important. What's important is those kids. What's because while we're trying to make things happen, they're living their lives.
Yeah.
It's their childhood. We may be thinking, man, how am I going to get the bills paid? Man, I got a birthday and Christmas and Thanksgiving, and my family thinks they're going to stay at my place. Like, come on.
Yeah.
At the same time, your kid's just trying to show you this picture. Mommy, look at this. Daddy, look at this. And you're like, yeah. But it's at that time. Look, Ray was a great example of this. We had a table and event, and my daughter loves the color. Isaiah was there too, and my daughter kept drawing these pictures for Ray. She loves Mr. Ray, and she probably gave Ray 10 pictures. After 6, I'm like, baby. Like, no, these are the best pictures. These are so beautiful. That's what the kids need.
Yeah.
They want your engagement there with them. They want your presence and not
They
your
do.
presence.
They
You know,
do. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Raymond, what does it mean to you?
I think both of those hit on great points when it comes to
Yeah.
the dad being engaged and being active inside of their kid's life. What I would say it means to me is I'm just going to give a little brief story. Matter of fact, it just happened today. Um, there was a dad, and he was just finishing up our program, uh, and he came into the office, and this was his last session with us. You know, we're still going to mentor him and everything, and be a part of our program, but he's done with the session part of the program, and he said what he realized was that by him participating, um, being a part of his child's life. So what he does now is he works with his child with football. He was like, well, he's not getting it, he's not fast. But I said, and one of the things I like to let him know is that it's like your child is on a clay stand,
Yeah.
and every interaction you have with your child, you're molding that child to a whole different person, a whole different perspective. Every time you talk to that child, that's another. It's like you're taking your hands and you're gently molding that child into the greatness that that child can become. So talk about acting and participating in all the things like these gentlemen were saying to as well. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say this like to all of the dads that are watching, that are listening, you know, you have so much power. Biblically, you guys were set up to be the head of your household. You guys were set up, you know, before creation to be able to do things that females just simply cannot do. You know, whether it's a mother raising a child without a father, whether it's the father raising a child without a mother, you know, that's the adaptability that one parent has to go through in order to make sure that the child is as whole as possible. But just in terms of your divine right, you guys were placed with some things that just females were not. And so when I was an administrator, one of my favorite events to curate at my school was one of Tony Dungy's programs that he fosters as well, and it's the, you know, take your child to school day, like dads take your child to school day. And I just started looking into that event and just looking at through his other programming that he has, but one of those is a Florida initiative that they have, and we've adopted it here in Polk County Public Schools when I was with them. But just to read the statistical facts, like the ones that I just read before bringing you gentlemen on, it is just amazing at just because a father does it, just like Isaiah said, when a father puts a child to sleep, they're rested more. I just think that it's amazing that the mother has something that she's uniquely just great at, but the father has something that he's just uniquely, you know, great at as well, and it just has the biggest bang for your buck. And so I want any father out there who wants to be an active father, like it's never too late to do that. You know, like this show is all about the power of the comeback. Like you go to God first and foremost. I'm always going to advocate for that. Definitely get with your resources, use them effectively. We have three different resources here on this podcast tonight. And then definitely, most importantly, actually equally as important as all of them, is to do the necessary work. And so we're going to talk about doing the work. Because again, fathers, you are needed. You are you are definitely essential in your child's life, regardless of what a partnership looks like. If you don't have that partnership with the person you created your child with, then here's what I need for you to do is just really focus on how you can be the best parent. How can you show up when you do have your kids to be the best father? And then you can go with those resources on how to, you know, forge a common bond, hopefully with the mother of your kids, where you guys can come to a common ground where you guys may not even have to deal with each other. You guys just put that stuff to the side and just focus on the child, because the child is what's really, really, really important. So let's do the work now. All right. So the work comes with your sessions. It comes with meeting with you guys one on one, or it comes with meeting with you guys in group sessions. So tell me about the sessions. what can fathers expect? Like, what do these modules look like? Explain the programming to me.
Okay, so let's start off with our very first session. Okay, and what it talks about is the history of the father.
Yeah,
So what we go into is being able to help the father identify what that looked like for him. First of all, letting him kind of view his past, how his experience was when it goes into the history of the father. And as he go into that portion of that, then we go into he can identify and see what his child is experiencing, even what his self, what he have experienced himself, and even what his child has experienced because of looking back at it from that perspective. We have a couple that we cover what it means to be a man, and it goes into that as well too. And we go into details as far as explaining what that looked like as far as him being that man, and that's where it kind of comes into the responsibility, understanding what that responsible and him being responsible entails as far as when it comes to his family and things of that nature there as well too. We have a other couple other ones, but I'm gonna let the gentleman kind of tell you more because they can give you some more insight that a different insight than what I can. But please, these gentlemen definitely going to share more information. So go ahead, one of you guys.
Yeah, there's I think it's not when you look at the programs, this is not like an AA group for fathers. This is not a celebrate recovery for fathers.
gotcha.
This is at its core, I feel that we are a fraternity in a sense. We are a fraternity of fathers, a group of men coming together to better one another. And through these courses, you're going to have no choice but to delve into questions of who am I? Why am I like this? What do I need to do to be the best version of who I could be? And what is holding me back? And you're going to cover a topic difficulty with co-parenting. You're going to learn about setting healthy boundaries
Yeah,
and when to walk away from a conversation. You're going to learn about priorities, about making yourself first. Because if you're not there for yourself, how are you going to expect to be there for your family? You know,
right.
you're going to learn about the importance of budgeting in just in being present. This is not a well, we can look. This is not going to be a course that's going to be like this is how you change a diaper. This is how you hold a baby. If
Yeah,
you need it, we have pathways, programs to where we can.
yeah,
But at its core, this is going to ask you to do some self reflection, and it's going to at its very core, it's going to ask you. Well, it's going to have you realize that the only person keeping you from being the best you is you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Isaiah?
So, especially for Team Dad, much like what Austin said, it's that ability to self-assess, having the conversation so you can actually understand what you need to communicate properly, what you need to take care of your mental health, because it's men's mental health month. So it's like that's very important in being there for your kids, being there for yourself.
Yeah,
And with dad mode, the group sessions is about realizing that you're not alone in what you're going through. So being in that group session, I know for me, um, like what Austin said earlier, as you get older, your friend group shrinks. So it's like as you have kids, you're not hanging around people that don't have kids as much. If you are, your priorities might not be where they need to be. So being in that community of dads actually helps with your self-assessment. It helps you understand that you're not the only one going through what you're going through, but that
yeah,
doesn't mean that you have to give up and you can't push forward. So um, the one-on-one team dad is a lot more focused on that one-on-one realizations of your history and where are you going, where do you want to go. Whereas with the dad mode, the group sessions, it goes over a lot of the same topics, but it helps bond fathers together.
Gotcha. What have each of you gentlemen learned about you as a father by conducting the courses, by being mentors? What have you learned about yourselves that you didn't necessarily know before doing this type of work?
I learned I still have a lot to learn. So, it's not what I'm doing. I'm not. There's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah.
So, it's a matter of sometimes we don't realize how much we matter. So those words matter, the hugs matter, the effort matters, and even the apologies that we have to give to the kids or to the other parent, all of that matters.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning and I'm still realizing how much of what we do as fathers actually matter.
That's really good. Really, really good. Raymond?
I would say, and I want to piggyback off of what he said. One of the things what I've learned from being in this position, tied entails to my life, is you don't realize how much that matters, because when you're going and you're working and you're doing your daily life. My girls are grown, so I don't have the little girls, but they're grown. But I still have to interact with my girls. Still the same. I had a little situation happen, and my daughter said to me, she said that it's time for us to take care of you now. And when she said those words like that, that meant a lot.
Yeah.
That meant a lot. I didn't know that I would feel that way. I would be so choked up. You know what I mean? And even how all three of them came together for that. But it mean a lot. So I would say, how has it affect me is just it has made me be more. I would say more present, even more. That's what I would say. Make me be more present. Make me be more active, more engaged with them. Because when you're talking about it to dads and you're telling them, okay, you need to do this, and you're kind of going over this, and you're going over the questions, and you're answering questions, and you're talking and you're communicating. You're talking about that. You're thinking about your own life. I'm like, dang, So it's actually allowing almost. It's literally like just really just making it pour out of me, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
and just be as engaged as possible with my girls. So now it's nothing for me to text all three of my girls. Hey, Daddy, love you. 1, 2, 3. I hit all three of them up all at one time. One time, one apiece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just make me be more engaged. It make me be more as engaged as a grandparent. You know what I mean? As well too. My grandboys. You know what I mean? I'm just interactive.
Yeah.
There's some things I was talking to a coworker that I got to go to the errands and all these other places to get a big box. You know what I mean? I got to get a big box. I got to get some sheets. You know what I mean? And we finna have a big old camping night.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, right now. Big old camping night. All 4 of my boys. You know what I mean? I normally only took the big 2. They big enough, but I said I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this time, so I'm doing all 4 of us. We all gonna do a thing, but it forced me almost like make you be more engaged into actually being participate with the kids and with my kids. I would say.
Yeah. Austin, what about for you?
I would say, I really like what Isaiah said, talking about, you don't know what you don't know. But the piggyback of that is forgiveness.
Yeah.
Is what I've learned. That you need to forgive yourself for what you don't know. I feel that looking back at our parents growing up, we may have felt they weren't present, they weren't there, they weren't doing the best they could, but in reality, that's all they knew.
Yeah.
And then also the importance of, you mentioned those Bill Cosby conversations.
Yeah.
I feel if we had more than Bill Cosby conversations, our world would not be the way it is right now.
Yeah.
And I felt like it's reinforced the importance of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's something I try to do with my son as much as I can. No, it's no longer there's always discipline. I've always had discipline with my son.
Yeah.
Discipline as in direction. But I feel that this is on a different level. It's not the discipline of being physically fit or exercising.
Yeah.
This is the discipline of life.
Yeah. That's good.
And that's what I've learned is really important through this program.
So I'm sitting here, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to this conversation. I feel like this may be my third time. This particular conversation has unraveled some new insight. But I'm listening to this and it's like I want every man to know this information. I want every man, every father to know that these resources are out there. But as I'm thinking about this, because I'm thinking about why are we not doing this at the high school level, like as a senior, why are we not doing this on the collegiate level of implementing that this is a mandatory class that you take, just like we are getting more knowledge about how important financial literacy is. Not everybody's going to be a parent, and I get that. However, I think it's just an essential part of life for you to know the lessons that you guys are taking. And I'm just like, how can we get it out? How can we get it out? I was so ecstatic to see you guys at the Ray Lewis event not too long ago. And I was like, okay, they have their tent, they have a setup, they're vending, they're talking to the community. I'm like, yes, like go team dad, go, dad, Mo. Like Raymond knows I went over there. Austin, I saw you. I don't think I got the opportunity to meet you, Isaiah, but I was just like, yes, this is what's needed. So how do we break? I know you've already stated it, is you're talking to people while you're working out, you're talking to people when you're at the store, you're doing these podcasts, but give me some wins, give me some ways that this organization has grown in the way that you have gotten the word out.
Well, let's have that conversation. I tell you what, no, look, I said this today, I say this all the time. Anything you want is 6 steps away. Anything you want.
You know what? I say that too. I say it that you are like 6 people away from the person that you
exactly.
Really
yeah. You're just it's
like
there.
6 degrees of separation.
So I tell you what, and Ray may shoot me for saying this. If you are interested in this program, if you are a man, look, if you work at a school, if you are on a collegiate level, if you are at a high school level and you want us to come, let's make it happen. Because at the end of the day, this is about growth.
Yeah.
And you can't put a stop on growth. We're like weeds. We'll find a way. We'll come through the cracks in the concrete,
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull us and we're gonna come back. It's just I'll tell you, let's pose this question to everybody that's listening. How do y'all feel we can better interact with you?
Yeah.
Currently, we're serving 115 dads. We have jails. We do donuts with dads. We started with 60 dads at the beginning of the school year at Eastside Elementary. We finished with 40.
I love
Think
that.
about that retention rate. That's once a month. Once a month, we met with the dads. We gave them donuts and we gave them a talk. And we just talked about fatherhood. We work with DCF right now. We didn't before. Work with DCF. We work with Heartland for Children in the adoptions. If it's, I already mentioned the schools, we're in the community centers. As I mentioned, we're at the Dream Center every Monday night and every other Tuesday for the food bank. We have a group in Bartow that meets every other Wednesday at Palace Pizza. We can do this virtually. If you're a father and you have a hard time getting to where you need to go, let's set up a virtual appointment. And we could all get on there and we could talk. You ain't got to leave the house to get your knowledge. We're going to come to you. So, or if you got a men's group at your church, if you're a church, I love coming to churches. Let's talk. Let's get into scripture about this. Girl, our whole program. Look, it doesn't blatantly say it, but it's rooted in scripture.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah. Let's talk. So if you're in the community and you want to connect with us, please reach out because we want to have these conversations of how can we better engage with you.
Yeah.
As a father, how do you feel that we can better serve you? We just started Polk County's first. We haven't sent out the surveys yet, but we're starting Polk County's first Fatherhood Insight Study to find out about the fathers.
Yeah.
And this is completely anonymous. And
That's
if you want to
needed. Yeah.
participate, you can email us, and we will send out a survey. We send out backpacks, 50 backpacks a month to Lakeland Regional Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
We also, that's another program we do. So we just want to be there. If anyone in the community has an idea of how we could better be present in our community, please let us know.
Absolutely.
Please
Absolutely.
let us know. Because
Mm-hmm.
you in the community know how you can be served. You know,
Yeah.
our office is in Bartow, and there's 3 of us, and there's thousands of fathers. Ray
I
has stated on my very first day at work that our goal is for every father in Polk County, Hardy, and Highlands County to know who we are and what we do. But I want to take this a step further. I want them to experience what we have to offer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please, everybody, reach out to us. Look, if I don't know where you are, tell me where you at. What happened?
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I heard you say, well, first and foremost, I'm gonna do an impromptu survey. So come here for a second. So listen, I'm doing this podcast, and like as a caveat to that, I told my son that he can go in the gym and he can play basketball. So say hi, London. You gotta scoop down a little bit.
What's up, London?
What up, London?
Gonna take the locks out of your face. Yeah,
Yeah.
So we are talking about. I know you remember Mr. Raymond from All for One. Remember? All right. What'd you say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We doing this yes ma'am. Every time he doesn't say yes ma'am, he gets a pinch. So he already knows what he said. So I want you to tell us, because I was a girl mom, a girl dad with what am I?
We got you.
I was like daddy's girl. It's free. I'm pretending like I'm part of the boys. So I was a daddy's girl with your grandpa. You gotta look because the audience is there. And so you know how important I feel, fathers are, and then fathers being active. And so these gentlemen work with 2 groups that help fathers become better fathers. And so what's the best part about having a dad? Like what part makes you happy about your dad? Like what gets you excited about going with your father? What's important, like for you as a kid? What do you want dads to know that they need to do what with their kids?
Spend time.
Say that very loud.
Spend time with your kids.
What does that look like to you, spend time? Is it just show up at your basketball games? What does that include?
Like we could go fishing,
Mm-hmm.
like activities together, like Uno.
Mm-hmm. So you just want like just active, like doing things, being there for you, right?
Yes.
What about buying you the most expensive tennis shoes? Because you want them Kobe's. What about that? Kobe's time. In all honesty, what's the most important? Kobe's or the time? They can't hear you.
The time, but I want the Kobe.
He was gonna say,
Hey, get the Kobe's out. Man.
It's okay.
I knew he was gonna say that. So yeah, I just my hat goes off to you guys. I know you guys said it was like a fraternity. You're really involved with the gentlemen. Like what are some ways where you've built these men up to be great fathers? Like they know themselves now. They understand what it is to actually be a great dad. What are some things that you guys have done together as a group of men that you're really, really proud of? That you're like, wow, this would not have happened without Team Dad or Dad Mode. It just would not have happened.
One of the things that I'm really proud of that we did together is we did a fishing event. And like he was talking about the fishing event. And the impact that it had on the kids' life just for the seeing and like Austin had my grandboys out there. And Austin had little Henley out there, and she was she throw the rod out there. She talking to everybody, not licking the fish to start biting, and she reel one in, and next thing you know, she throw it out there again, and they bite again. She talking, just moving around, just come back. So it was so exciting just to see her go through that whole thing and
Yeah.
to take a picture with the fish. So, but yeah, I think because that is so important. Like your son was saying, he said just going fishing. Um, I thought that was just so important of an event.
Yeah.
To be able to actually see, and then to see the kids actually engaging with fishing and putting the hook on. And you got the dads trying to put. You got some dads that know how to fish. You got some that kind of like me that really don't know how, but I know how to put a little bait on the hook. You know what I mean? I know a little bit. You know what I mean? But so that's what you have. And I thought that was something that was really engaging for our fathers with their kids, and that we had because of Team Dad. And I know other people could have had that, but because of Team Dad, I was really able to see the impact that just simple fishing. That's all the thing we did. You just throw a little rod and throw a little fish line in the lake, and it was so impactful. Like the kids and the dads just enjoyed themselves tremendously.
I love that. What about for you two, Isaiah and Austin? Like what event sticks out to you where you had the dads to be a part of it?
We had there's a couple things. I have situations because I see like these fathers are facets in a greater diamond. And I think in terms of events, we had a really awesome Super Bowl party. We partnered. We have a really great partner in Heartland for Children and the Fraternal Order of Police, and we had, I don't know, maybe 20 dads out there. We watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The FOP was gracious enough to be able to provide food for the location.
Good.
Heartland for Children has always been a great partner for us. But in terms of, I think, situations for me, something that really touched my heart was we had a dad in the jails.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of my favorites in there. He always had a smile on his face, always had something to say. Mm-hmm. And then we're at a halfway house. And we do classes all the way in there as well.
Good.
Holistic father care. But it was really heartwarming to see that same man go from our jail classes to the same classes in the halfway house. Mm-hmm. And I hope and pray that when he goes out into the community, that he reaches out to us. That number one, he calls us parole, and then his sponsor.
Yeah.
And then he calls us.
In that order.
Yeah. That's how. Ray, what you say? What's the saying?
Better and getting better.
Better and getting better.
Better and getting better.
Yeah, man. Ray gets these dudes fired up, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was super heartwarming for me to see that.
Yeah. Isaiah?
So for me, I haven't gotten to do any of the events yet.
So that means that you're going to play in the next one. That's all that
means. So one thing that I did, I got to go to the halfway house and I got to see the impact that the courses have and just life conversations have, where that whole saying better and getting better comes from.
Yeah.
And it came from them taking accountability for what they've gone through and wanting to change that for them and their kids' future. So that accountability looked like them saying, all right, I'm better, meaning I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm better than I was last year. And the only way I can go is to get better tomorrow and better the next day. So just keep taking those steps forward. But watching the fathers just liven up, and be like, I do got this. I can be better. I am better, and I'm going to keep getting better. I've already gotten over the hardest part, so there's no need to let life stop me or kick me down now. So, like, being a part of that moment and seeing, like, the realization and the excitement come across them, where they're realizing that they've been accountable for themselves and they could continue being accountable for themselves, it was a really dope thing to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love all of that. And so, again, you guys are a friend of the show. And did you guys pay to get into the podcast event last year?
Were we supposed
Uh,
to? I'm not answering yet.
Looking back and listening back to what I just asked you, I can understand and I respect what you said. No, your answer was supposed to be no. Your
Well,
answer
then
was supposed
no.
to be no, you were not. And if you did, what I am just publicly offering you this year too, because I want you to be there this year too. Like, um, yeah, you three get free tickets to the podcast event. And I also am going to sponsor if you want to bring a dad each. So I'm going to sponsor 6 free tickets for you guys for the event because I want some dads in the room. I want you guys to just continue to bring them into your world so that you can give them these experiences that they need to see. This is within the program, but it's outside of the program as well. And you just commune together, in your brotherhood. And so I apologize if you did pay last year because you really were
No,
not
he didn't.
supposed to
I was
pay
just
last
messing
year
with you. I was just
either.
messing with you.
He said, "Oh, I'm not answering that." So it sounds like you did what you were supposed to do last year. But I want our kids to grow up with 2 solid parents, and just more so than anything, I really want fathers to know that they have a place in their household, whether they're in that household or whether they are, under this guise of co-parenting, no matter how much, the disagreement may be with the mother. I just really though, I really want, parents to, and personally, because I can only go by my personal opinion, I feel like if the mother is with that child at least 80% of the time, let's just say you get the child on the weekend, I think it's only fair, or every other weekend, or however you guys have it, situated. I just think that it's fair that you're able to listen to input, because I feel like I'm the most dopest person it is. Like, if you come to me with reason, like if you come to me with the heart of I want to be the best father, or if I have friends that say, Jazz, I didn't get it right, but listen, I saw your podcast, how do I get it right? Like, I want men who want to get it right, because I've been thinking about this. It's like, this may not be for the guy who just doesn't see anything wrong with his parenting, and can't listen or can't receive the feedback. And hopefully things like this podcast, hopefully things like, his friends or you guys, when they see you in the community, hopefully it'll be a gateway to say, like Isaiah said, I know that I don't know everything. That's what I do know, is that I don't know everything. Because there could be a parenting class for moms. And although I think I'm the best mom out there, hey, I want more resources to be a better mom than I was, than I am now, because I don't know everything either. But I want, you know, whatever situation a father is in, I just want that father to link with people, because you can't do it by yourself, or it's sometimes you just cannot do it by yourself. That's just the bottom line. Like, so get with some men. If you didn't have that great father figure, get with men who may not have that great father figure either, but they've taken classes and courses to know how to guide you into, being a great parent. But get with resources, because your kid is the number one thing. Like, above all of the stuff, your kid is the number one thing. And so, fathers, you have a welcome space here on my platform. I definitely want to give you this resource, these resources. I just want, again, to create great fathers for our kids, because you guys, you are what matters. You are essential. It's too much that weighs on your shoulders that you could give to your kids, and it's a lot riding on, your interaction with your kid. And so if you have the power to do it, do it. I hope this episode encourages you to step outside of your box. I hope this podcast encourages you to link with, resources that will be helpful for your kids and for yourself. You have to build yourself up first before you can be great to anyone else. So, gentlemen, I want to afford you the opportunity to give parting words and give us ways that we can keep in contact with you and also get your resources.
You could reach us. Well, you can reach me at abutler@healthystarthhp.org. You can reach Raymond at rclay at healthystarthhp.org, and Isaiah at iblue@healthystarthhp.org. My final words is with everything we have going on with our programs, we have more fathers who are in need in our community. So my question for the community and everybody listening is, if you are able to help us provide or donate anything to our programs, please let us know. We're trying to build the discretionary funds to be able to provide basic needs for fathers in our communities. We have fathers who need beds. We need fathers who need Uber cars to be able to get to work. We have fathers who need clothes, professional clothes, and we would like to be able to provide those. I know there are fathers who need resources and those who are able to provide. And if you're able to provide and help donate in any capacity, please reach out to us. You can find us at the Healthy Start website or through our emails, or if you see us in the community, please don't hesitate, because we're always willing and ready to talk and make something happen.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So add to what Weston said. So basically, if you're a dad, a mentor, a community partner, anyone who just wants to support what we're doing, just reach out, be a part of it, because we have space for you. And if you're a dad, just keep showing up. If you're not showing up yet, start showing up now and break the cycle of what you didn't have, because everything that you pour into your kids is your legacy.
Absolutely.
They said it all, Jazz. They said it all. I'm telling you, they really did. And so what you heard from Austin and Isaiah, and how to contact us and how to get involved with your kids, do that, please. Make sure you reach us at our email address if you see us around, however that may be. We just want to make sure every dad gets involved and are able to be participant in their child's life as well. Active, engaging participant.
Yes.
In their child's life.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, gentlemen, thank you for giving me your yes yet again. Another year. I think we need to make this an annual thing. I think it's just, you're going to schedule it every June, okay? I think June is your spot. June is going to be your spot. And I mean, it's two birds with one stone. Men's Mental Awareness Month, and then also, Father's Day falls in this month as well. So thank you. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of the work that you're doing. I continue to see you more and more in the community, and it makes me smile every time I see you guys. And so, you definitely are a part of my Jazzie crew forever and ever and ever. And so I hope that, my podcast is able to be a catalyst that gets you some sort of support outside of what you're already getting. And just know that the work that you do the work that you are doing, it is incredible. It is needed. I feel like it's a godsend. And so just keep up the good work and continue to give it your yes every day.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us come on.
Hey, you're most welcome. Y'all done got some yard work done. I heard some lawnmowers. Y'all can't even stop being dads. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, I am going to put your email addresses, your links, and all of that good stuff, with this episode when when it replays and airs. And so I just, you have a friend here in this show. And so if it's anything that my platform can do and assist you with, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because the answer is just an automatic yes. All right. Just because you are a dad,
Thank you.
100% of dads who work with dads get resources that they want. So, all right. So, listen, guys, this has been fun. This has been informative. Make sure you reach out to them, and also make sure that you support them. Share this episode. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and also to the podcast platform with however you listen to your podcast. This has been an incredible episode 156 of the Jazzie Conversations with Jazz podcast. We will be having our 4-year anniversary live show on November 8th. So please stay tuned for that. Tickets will be dropping soon, as well as the location. And I look forward to seeing you there. And so until next time, remember, you can come back through or from anything. Now is the time for a dope comeback. Make sure that you do it with God, the right resources, knowing how to use those resources effectively, and your willingness to do the work. All right. So we will see you back on next Monday. You guys have a great evening.